Welcome to the RPG Podcast.
And we are live.
Oh, God, Patton!
Presented by SHEATH. A Time Wheel production.
Thank you, and welcome to another episode of the Robert Patton Global Podcast. I'm here with Mike Tice.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. I'm excited.
Thanks for coming on. You live here locally now, here in Woodland Park.
I do.
And you came here to shoot photography.
Yeah. I saw an article on SHEATH. I think it was in one of the local magazines or papers, and it really was interesting to me. I thought, wow, this is a really kick-ass company, man. Like, wow, I got to go meet this guy.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you started doing some photography for us, and they came out really good.
Yeah.
So we're doing some like wildlife photography shit, but with our models.
Yeah.
Sunset, sunrise, epic shots.
Absolutely.
But like, how did you get started with this then?
Yeah, it's quite a story, actually. 2014. So I haven't been taking photos that long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2014.
7 years.
Yeah, I worked for this company, and I ended up being named to the President's Club, which was one of the top 5 salespeople in the world for the company at the time. And then, so as a reward, we got to go take a trip to South Africa.
Ooh.
So we went on this 10-day safari, wildlife safari, and it occurred to me, it's like, holy crap, I don't have anything other than an iPhone. I didn't own a camera at the time.
Had you left yet?
No. So,
And real quick, what were you selling?
yeah, so I was selling software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you were in the President's Club, so you were really good at that?
I was, in the President's Club. So it was interesting because on the way back, I realized I didn't have a camera. So when I got back to Iowa, where we lived at the time, I was like, shit, I'm going to have to go to like Best Buy, right? I'm just going to go to Best Buy and say, yo, I got like $800, what can I get for that? Mm-hmm. I had no idea what I was doing. And I told the dude where I was going, and he says, well, here's the Nikon camera you should try, and, it's going to fit your budget, and a couple lenses. Came home, kind of shot in the backyard, just trying to get to know the camera. And about 2 weeks later, we were off to South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of buttons on the cameras, and those, especially the Nikons and Canons for like real photography.
Yeah.
If you don't know the ISOs and whatnot, so you were playing around with all that.
I'm messing around with all that, trying to figure all that stuff out.
Yeah.
And I got there, so we get to South Africa, and one of the first photos I took was of an elephant. It was like day one of the safari. And there's this elephant coming out our Jeep.
You're in a Jeep.
We're in a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
With like no cap.
open-sided.
Yeah.
There was like 6 of us in this thing, and it was just so cool. I took a photo of that, and I was like, it popped up on the back of the screen. I'm like, wow.
So you probably got there the night before or whatever, and you're staying in a compound, and then they open the gate and you go off into the wild.
Exactly. Yeah. 7 a.m. the next morning, we were on a safari,
And you saw an elephant.
right away.
How close were you?
I would say 75 yards, maybe. Right.
Did you get you got a picture?
I had an
You snapped a shot?
amazing picture of that.
Yeah.
Of
Because
that
it was
elephant. Yeah.
at 7 a.m. or whatever.
Right.
Sunrise,
beautiful. And then it just kind of progressed from there. I mean, in that safari, I ended up over the 10 days, I took probably 4,000 photos.
Yeah.
And
You got to take a lot of photos. Well,
yeah, I'm thinking
to get good shots, I heard you got to take a lot of photos, but also you were probably just enthusiastic about being there.
Well, yeah, it
so
was
much
just
cool shit.
Yeah, I just couldn't stop taking photos.
Hell yeah.
And so it's kind of weird because, you're in the bush, right? I mean, you're in the bush. There's no such thing as high-speed internet. So when we would get back, I'd upload photos to my computer, but I could only post like on Facebook or something, only one photo like per hour, right? It was just that slow. And a friend of mine back in Iowa, his name's Jamie Stevens. Shout out to Jamie because
Hey, Jamie.
Jamie says to me on Facebook, he's like, dude, those are like NatGeo quality images. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I just got this camera like the week before. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't even know what I'm doing yet. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I'm thinking, well, they're kind of cool, but Nat Geo. I think of the Yellow Magazine.
Of course.
Amazing photos, right?
Lions and jungles and
Right.
shit like, yeah.
So anyway, so we got back to the stateside. I just started taking more and more photos and trying to improve my craft. And then
Were you with your wife when you went?
Yeah.
Did she think they were the Nat Geo level?
Well, she didn't know, but
She says that. I'm sure you mentioned that to her, or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, nah, or maybe.
Well, I mean, I'm like, did you hear what Jamie said? He said these are like Nat Geo quality pictures, and she's like, oh, whatever. Kind of like, what?
What difference does it make?
I don't care.
You sell software,
right? So I started taking classes, photography classes, when I got back, and I just started studying, and
cool.
then I got on Nat Geo's website, just to see what this is all about, what he's talking about. And they had this section called Your Shot. And it's really dedicated for photographers. You could like submit up to 10 photos at the time. They don't have it anymore on their website, but you could submit up to 10 photos per day.
Wow. They were probably getting too many photos, so they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
But you got in early.
Yeah, I got in there. So, I mean, there's photographers from all over the world at various, levels, pros,
and you had just
amateurs, and I really didn't even know what I was doing yet.
Just started, kind of. How long was this?
This was 2015.
So like a year in?
Yeah, a year into it. And I just became obsessed with this idea of Nat Geo. I'm like, oh my God, wouldn't that be something if I could get my name in Nat Geo,
Yeah.
So 2016, March of 2016, we came here, Colorado Springs, never been.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was so excited. I'd never been to Colorado, right? And I started taking photos. I mean, we got here, I think it was like on a Friday, and we were going to stay through the weekend, and we stayed on Garden of the Gods at a hotel, just like most tourists do.
Right, of course.
And we go to bed that night. So it was my wife and 2 of the 3 of my kids. And I could not sleep. I was so excited about taking photos at Garden of the Gods and Pikes Peak. And I just became, just like I couldn't sleep. I got so amped. So literally it's 3:30 in the morning. I'm tossing and turning. And I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get up and I'm going to go just take photos. I don't even know what of. I'm not familiar with this place at all. I'm just like, screw it. So I like literally fell over my freaking family members, tumbling and, trying to get to the door and get my gear. And I get out and I go to the front desk and I'm like, yo, where's this place called Pikes Peak? And the lady's like, dude, it's 3:30 in the morning. She didn't tell me it's closed. She goes, well, just go down Highway 25 and go down 24 West and you're going to see it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, okay, cool. So I get there and of course it's closed. So then I turn around. I'm coming back to the hotel because I'm kind of like giving up. But you know how there's the Highway 24 is divided, right? Mm-hmm. There's certain places where you can turn around.
Yeah.
Right? So I pull off in one of those turnaround places, set my camera up, and I'm looking at this ridge line, and it's backlit by the lights of Colorado Springs, and there's some clouds over it. I set my tripod up, and I'm like, that's kind of cool. That just looks like a cool image. So I just take a long exposure, 30-second exposure, and look at the back of the camera. I'm like, that's all right. So then we got back to the hotel, have breakfast, whatever, and we go about and do our tourist thing, right? Go to the Garden of the Gods, go everywhere. And probably a week later or so, we get back, and I start to upload photos. I started to groom photos off the camera, right? I'm looking at the back of the camera, just delete. That one's pretty good. I'll keep it. Delete this one. I come across that photo, and I'm like, I hit delete, and then every time, before you ever delete an image off a camera, it asks you, are you sure you want to do this, right? And so I hit delete. I'm like, it's okay. So I kept it. So about a week after that, I uploaded to NatGeo, and it started getting a lot of likes, right, on the forum.
Wow.
And that was that. And I go to bed, and the next morning I wake up, turn my phone on, and I'm getting these text messages from just random people and private messages saying, dude, congratulations, your photo was selected, man. It was published. I'm like, what? I could not get to my camera or to my computer fast enough to log on
Right.
to check this out. And sure enough, and I titled the photo 4:18 because that's the time of the morning that I took it.
Wow.
It was 4:18 a.m. and I got published.
And that was the one of Colorado Springs
Yeah.
and the city
Yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
And it was so,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
I almost deleted the image because I didn't think it was that great, but
And you were having this like calling. It sounds like it was
Yeah.
like, you know, keeping you up at night
Yeah.
and obsessed. You were obsessed.
completely.
Yeah. And I tell people when it comes to success that you have to be obsessed if you want to be successful.
That's absolutely
you know?
true.
And because I'm obsessed with underwear, you're obsessed with photography and, you know, like fighters. If you're going to fight, you probably don't want to half-ass it and shit.
Right.
But like there needs to be every single thing you think about like morning, noon, and night.
Nonstop.
Yeah.
You know, you just think of composition and lighting, and you just constantly, you know, I used to hunt a lot, and I think there's a very close connection between hunting and photography because you're always on the hunt.
Nice.
Right. And
For
you're
that good
always,
shot.
yeah, you're always looking for that next good shot. Right.
Yeah.
And you just don't stop that hunt. And I
What
think
if you
that's-
don't have
you stay hungry.
your camera?
I
use your phone?
I don't not have
Oh,
my
okay.
camera.
Yeah.
I mean, rarely do I not have my camera. As you know, it's usually with me. But yeah, I use my camera once in a while.
On your phone?
Yeah, once in a while.
So when you do Instagram, you're uploading them from your
Yeah,
photography camera.
90% of the time it's coming out of my camera. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do a few videos here and there with my phone, but other than that,
Do you do video
some.
much?
Not that much.
We need to do some more video. We had some cool events with this model here at a photo shoot, and sometimes you want behind the scenes photography. I am so professional.
I shut mine off.
Oh my God, it's my brother. Now he's calling me back after we wanted some technical issues
Right.
fixed, but all good. Shit, where was I? What?
Yeah, so we're just talking about, you know, cameras and video and behind the
Oh yeah,
scenes.
video. But so yeah, behind the scenes, I had this kid I wanted to have come up because we met him in Fort Collins at a runway show, but he's like, I got COVID. And if I'd known you did video, I would have maybe called you.
Yeah, I mean, when I say I do video, it's like cell phone video only. You know, I don't do
Okay.
it with my. I don't do it.
You don't
with
got the gimbal and
No,
following people, and you're not
no,
into that. You just stick to
no.
the one thing.
I stay in my lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane. That's what I think about people when I would think of me when I'm doing a podcast. It's like, stay in your lane, sell underwear, weirdo. But I get to do what I want to do. And I want to do this because it's good to have a good conversation. You get to know people better. I really like the locking in with the headphones and the microphone and no distractions. Because it's, you know, it's just like practicing talking and we're so distracted all the time. And I know this is a cliche conversation in a podcast, but that's what's so cool about podcasts is the like a genuine conversation with no all these electronics as we're using all these electronics. But I mean, do you listen to them or?
Yeah, so yeah, I do.
what?
Yeah, I listen to various podcasts. Listen to yours.
Okay.
I listen to Rogan. I
Yeah.
think Rogan's interesting. He has some cool guests on there.
Yeah.
You know, anywhere from Elon Musk to MMA fighters, and it's just interesting to hear people's perspective on the world. You know.
Yeah, I like to just. Sometimes I just put it on and listen, and I used to listen with my dad to talk radio in the morning and whatnot, and so I was always just into it. So because I'm so into listening, I thought I might do it, and then I get to have these cool conversations, like I said.
Yeah.
And you know, it comes down. Like this particular one is about success,
Yeah.
you know, and the principles of success. And you were a salesman.
Yeah.
How did they like teach you rules of success in that field?
Constantly. I mean, we were always having training seminars and, you know, strategic sales seminars and all that kind of stuff. Still today. I mean, I'm still, you know, sales evolves and sales techniques evolve and, you know, we're getting better and smarter and more strategic, right? So Still.
Yeah. Anything like, because my Bible is Think and Grow Rich.
Oh, yeah.
And did you read that?
By Rich DeVos.
Okay.
Is that
Well,
who?
it's Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rich DeVos.
Yeah. So Rich DeVos was the president of Amway, I think, like long time ago.
They
But he
might
was
have
an
done a
author.
collaborative
Yep.
thing, and I know he did that with W. Clement Stone, which was the president of some other American insurance company. And sales is, you got to have this belief in yourself and have these goals, and maybe visualize. I remember I went door to door selling Nevada. There were these trips to Las Vegas. There were these little packages. You could go and you stay at the Stratosphere and you get, free buffets and like the coupons for this and that. And it was hard enough selling that thing, but
you learned a lot, didn't you?
I learned a lot, but and I think I sold one or two. It's humiliating.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what happened though is I ended up going to Vegas to use it to try the coupon book, and it was worthless.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I couldn't sell it anymore at that point.
Yeah.
You got to believe in it.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you learn a lot. I mean, there's just a lot. That's the grind, right? That's how you learn about rejection and how to overcome it and keep moving.
Yeah, like the persistence. I
Absolutely.
think it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Is that how you do? Well, how did you become so? I could get on the President's Club.
Yeah, so I just worked hard. I mean, I had a really good territory, and I had good customers, and they were loyal, and we just kept grinding, and next thing you know, it happens.
Yeah, so because I guess with sales, and I'm thinking my experience aside from selling those Vegas trips is like the office, and they sell paper. And once you have your clients, they as long as they keep coming back, you're good to go.
It becomes customer service.
Yeah.
At that point, right?
Yeah.
You can just maintain customers.
Be cool.
As you know right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going through that with your company, so
That's
it's about customer service and
so huge.
Yeah, retention.
Yeah, we try to do everything we can to go above and beyond for our customers.
Yeah.
SHEATHunderwear.com. A funny story happened recently when a customer from Norway, he asked us to send him some ketchup, Sir Kensington ketchup. And he's like, I had some when I was in New York, mate, and I miss it. I can't get it anywhere. Will you please send me some? And I'm like, my customer service team brought that to my attention. I was like, this is a great opportunity to make a remarkable story, And so I was like, all right, I went to the store, got the Sir Kensington ketchup, put it in the mail. It was like $50 to send it to him.
Way.
But
you're gonna retain that customer for life.
Exactly.
He'll never forget that.
Right.
Right.
And I get a lot of these ideas from books, from stories from other entrepreneurs. Have you heard of Gary Vee?
Oh yeah.
Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram.
Okay. Yeah. The Daily V, he used to do that. Just having someone following him around with a camera every day,
And I love that guy because he's
Yeah.
all about the grind, right?
Yes.
He's not afraid to go to garage sales and buy, like just baseball cards and flip them. And I mean, he's still just all about the grind. I love it.
Yeah, I love that too. And I learned a lot from him. And that's one of the things that I learned was, one thing he taught me was just to not be scared of the camera. He said, don't create, document, just show where you're coming from, show the journey.
Just be real, man.
Be real. Yeah, don't try to be something you're not.
Right.
This episode is brought to you in part by Element Kombucha. It's a new sponsor. We're very excited. They sent me a care package and I drank them all. I can't even show you. I could show you this empty bottle right here, but it's Element Kombucha. They have CBD infusions, THC free, really tasty blends. Kombucha is good for the gut bio. So if you have been taking antibiotics, it's always good to take some probiotics. And Element Kombucha is sponsoring this show. They're supporting us. So we're asking you to support them. They actually have really good prices. It's like $10, $15 for a 6 or 8 pack on their different options. They have variety packs, or you can just get the Summer Vibes blend, whatever you want. It's at elementkombucha.com. Promo code RPG11 will save you 11% on your purchase, and they'll know that we sent you, and we would appreciate the support. Last but not least, SHEATHunderwear.com, the greatest underwear on the planet, the underwear of legends, the underwear that keeps your balls from sticking to your legs. That's right. This is the best underwear because it keeps your boys cool. Check out SHEATHunderwear.com. Back to the show. You know, he wrote a lot of books. And one of the stories he talks about is scanning through his Twitter followers, and he found one of them. He then went to that guy's page, noticed that he's always talking about Brett Favre or whatever. And that's not who it was, but for instance, it was Brett Favre, and he loves Brett Favre.
Yeah.
And can't stop talking about Brett Favre. And so Gary gets a Brett Favre jersey, gets Brett Favre to sign it, sends it to this dude, and just kind of like out of the blue to make a statement that we'll just do shit like this. I think actually it was a customer of his too, because he was selling wine. And so they found his customer, found his social media, did all that, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, he talks about how that guy told his friend, like, can you believe they got me this jersey? And then one of his friends buys like a huge amount of wine and says, by the way, I really love Bruce Springsteen, to like get Bruce Springsteen tickets or whatever.
Nice.
But that's, you know, so like I did that thing, but I learned it from him, you know, and I learned a lot from him, but he got me for 15 G's. He knows what he did. It's all right. AJ, his brother's AJ Vaynerchuk. He called me one day because I was talking shit online, because they got me for 15 G's because I went to this pre-ESPY award party in LA. They're like, we're helping small businesses. We're going to get you in front of all these big sports athletes and blah, blah, blah. Just give us 15 grand and you're going to be a VIP sponsor at this event.
Yeah.
I get there. There's 20 VIP sponsors, and we're lined up across the wall. And it's this dude, he's trying to do socks and what, you know, like we're all like at a very low level. It would be like you when you first started, like he's going to help me get my photography out there, but you spent your last 15 grand. Anyways, I spent my last 15 grand. There was no ROI, and, but we had a fun time.
That's awesome.
We did have a fun time. Did you... Like, what are you doing to promote further your photography?
Yeah, so so if we back up just a little bit, when we lived in Iowa, I started this like a little senior business, shooting seniors, right?
Okay.
And we lived in a kind of a small town. Well, lived in Des Moines, but kind of a suburb. And you know, my kids went through the school district, and of course, we knew everybody. And I started to get, you know, kind of a little bit of a following there, and I started to take quite a few senior photos for kids, and that kind of grew into a nice little business for me. And then I did a couple calendars. So I did a fitness calendar for my sister and some of her workout friends. And then I did believe it or not, so in Iowa, we have a lot of corn, right?
Yeah.
So there's crop dusters everywhere, right? So to me, I always thought that was fascinating.
That is kind of fascinating. People think they're getting chemicals sprayed on them from aliens or something.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's fungicide. And so people would, you know, this crop duster would come down and he would swoop over power lines and come down and spray the crops and then go back up. And I'm thinking, God, that takes a lot of nerve. You know, that I gotta meet this dude. Right?
Nice.
I'm like, that takes a lot of balls.
That sounds cool as hell.
So I did. I really like did some research and tracked down what airport that guy was flying out of. And I met him one day and I said, I'm a photographer. And I said, I would love to shoot you sometime. He's like, oh yeah, if you want to meet me give me the coordinates of a field that he was going to shoot, spray the next morning. Nice. So I went out there before he got there. And of course I saw him coming, right? And here he comes and swoops down, and I got physically stood on top of my car. And I just shot him as he sprayed this field, and I got 700-800 photos of this dude.
Whoa.
And so then I went back
So it was sunrise again, right?
Yeah, it was like sunrise.
And you knew the right angle to have.
Oh, yeah.
You were like ready.
Totally.
Okay.
So then I actually called him while he was flying on his cell phone. He gave me his cell number. And I'm like, hey, can you just make one more pass, like right at me, you know? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, this dude's flying a probably $1 million crop duster, super powerful. And he's talking to me on his cell phone. And it just seemed weird to me that he's doing that. So he does.
Driving while flying while he's talking to you. That's
and
funny.
he's dodging power lines and shit, talking to me on his cell phone. Anyway, he makes another pass right at me, and some really cool photos came out of that.
I want to get we want to splice in some of these photos if I can either get them or if they're on your Instagram, we can just pull them up.
Totally got them, yeah.
Like the one you were talking about earlier that got into NatGeo.
Yeah, NatGeo
just
photo.
like for whenever we're talking, we'll splice it in.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
And then, so I met that guy, right? And he goes, hey, I'm just going to build a calendar for my customers out of these photos. So
wow,
he took him to some place that does the calendars for him, and he ordered like 1,000 of them.
how fun.
Yeah, and he passed them out to his customers.
I'd love to see those. I can't wait to see those because
he did it every year.
I can visualize it in my mind, but it looks pretty like epic.
Well, it's really cool because you could see like he got really low, you know, just above the corn, and he was coming right at me, and you can see the heat waves of the engine and then the spray of the fungicide. Oh, it's just really cool.
Wow.
It was backlit.
I've never even heard of fungicide. I guess that's so they don't get slimy.
Yeah, fungicide's what they use.
I thought it was pesticide.
No, it's called fungicide.
DDT.
No, I don't use that. It's bad.
I guess so. Good that we've evolved from poisoning citizens unknowingly. Probably we're all trying to do the best we can, right? So you moved to here though.
Yeah. So back to that, I guess.
Because you were there.
Yeah.
Why would you leave?
Right. So we still had a kid in high school. Mm-hmm. And we said, you know, kind of like over the course of the next year, if the opportunities ever line after he graduates, let's move. And we both agreed. I mean, we both had jobs that would allow us to move to Colorado because I had a territory that covered Colorado, so they didn't care where I lived. Right. My wife works, she works for Wells Fargo, so remote. And so the stars aligned, and literally the week after he graduated, we were packing the house, and we moved to Colorado.
Did you come to Woodland Park or Colorado Springs?
Went to Falcon.
Oh,
right?
Falcon.
Or
Patton. North.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs, basically.
Yeah. That turned out to be not our jam. You know, we were there a year, and we started looking for houses around, and came to Woodland Park a couple times. Loved it. Couldn't find a house. You know what the housing market is like here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we finally found one, and we're like, boom, that's it. Right? Love it.
Yeah, this place is pretty sick.
It's magical.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I love. We don't leave too often to go out of.
Why would you? There's Pikes Peak right there.
Finally clearing up.
Yeah.
The weather was a little bit gloomy.
Yeah.
What was your last project or future projects?
Yeah. So there's going to be some projects coming up. We're going to. I'm trying to start my senior business back up. I've shot a couple of seniors here, but I'd like to see that business grow. So I think there's a market for it here.
And what's your idea behind that?
Well, just just to progress in photography.
Well, how do you shoot them? Special, like portrait.
Yeah, just like we do your models, right? I mean, now that I'm in a different environment, you know, shooting in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Now we're in the Rockies.
Yeah, this is way cooler.
This is next level, right? So.
Okay, so you got that, and we got Robert Oberst coming here pretty soon. Watch out, people! Strongest man in the world. He's coming to do a strongman contest. I want you to come up there with us.
Yeah.
But it's so I don't think they'll be doing it at sunrise. Maybe sunset.
There you go.
But that could be some epic shots. I love when they're like.
He's coming here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, at the end of August. It was going to be early August, but we had shift because there's a competition up there. So actually, while he's here, though, we could just do our own shot. Because I want to get a shot of him like he's what's that thing? Bigfoot or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw him on Insta.
Yeah. So he's a giant, and just getting some cool like wild man,
Yeah.
animalistic
I can
wilderness.
just like, I already got the pose, maybe like on a boulder, huge boulder on top of a boulder doing something.
Dude,
He's got some big dumbbells or something.
yeah, there's a sick trail right here. But you got to hike about probably like 3 miles.
As long as he's carrying the weights.
I don't even think he needs to carry anything, but
Yeah.
you just pick up a rock.
I'm down.
Yeah.
You want to talk about cars?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember like a couple of. Thank you for reminding me.
This is all your fault. My obsession with Teslas is
Yeah, because
partially your fault.
I went and picked you and your son up, and we went for a ride.
Was
that cool?
My life has changed. Yeah, I mean, so I bought the Model 3 Performance, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's what we got, I think. I know we got the long range. But,
Yeah, you got the long
so you can
range.
go faster.
I can go faster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, like, I cannot get enough of it. I mean, just the acceleration and the tech in it. I love it.
Yeah, it's fun. There's in the windy roads, you can really hug the curves.
Yeah, I went right north here on 67 the other day at probably speeds a little higher than normal, and it was fun. That car is just like on rails.
Yeah, there's like a little turnoff if you're going off 67. It's just like it's about a half a mile, quarter mile windy road, and every now and then I'll just take it as fast as I can because there's like nothing on there. But I was driving into town to Colorado Springs the other morning, and just doing my thing, no big deal. And I see this deer dart like it was being chased by a jaguar, and it got blown to pieces.
Really?
Like 2 cars ahead of me.
Oh,
I see it just and like green mist. It was like I was talking to my friend on the phone, and I was like, "No!
Yeah.
Oh my god!" It would like seared in my brain. It would look like I would never forget. Like because it felt like the skeleton got like the skin flew off, and the skeleton was like flying at me, but it wasn't. It ultimately ended up being the fender, and because I had the Tesla, it recorded it.
Oh.
And I showed everyone else afterwards, and it wasn't quite as clear on the Tesla as it is in my brain because I just happened to look right at it at that instant. It was like it slowed down, like time slowed down when I. And then there was 2 cars in front of it. One more car in front of me, and the car that got hit like pulls over, and us two, whatever. We just were like, we gotta go, dude. I got an appointment to be at. Sorry.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
And yeah. There's a lot of deer here.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It's insane. Like I almost hit 2 little fawns just right up the street here this morning. I mean, they're just hopping all over. They don't know,
What is it? Spring? It's fall. I guess this is their spring.
Yeah.
time.
Well, they're usually born in June, July time frame, right? So
Yeah.
they're still spots, and they're little. I mean, they're like little puppies.
Dude, I went out in my yard the other week and saw a little baby deer fawn. Like curled up, no mama, no other big deer around. What do you do in that scenario?
Yeah, I mean, nothing. I mean, there's nothing that you really can do. They tell you to not, like, if you see a fawn by itself, you're not supposed to interact with it. You're not supposed to like feed it or anything like that.
Yeah,
right?
pick it up and bring it inside and give it a bottle.
You should not do that.
Well, so what I found out, I guess, also was that you got to just leave it there because the mom just left it there safely. She's going to come back because it was gone later. I'm assuming the mom came and got it again.
So yeah, I mean, they will. They'll reconnect.
Yeah.
So we had a kind of a crazy deal last week across the street from our house. We had it was probably 4 a.m. Little fawn got ate by a bear.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's horrible.
So yeah, my neighbor's backyard across the street. It was bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, because we have bears coming here and tipping over my trash can when I don't lock it down with this trap ratchet.
Yeah, they'll just scatter your trash everywhere.
Yeah, It's happened at least 4 times since I've been here. And in the middle of the night, you're like, okay, well, I'm not getting up now. I'm going to let them pick through it until I.
Yeah. So the cops actually came, and there was 2 cops, and I think a CPW guy, and one guy had a shotgun, the other guy had an AR, and they kind of like separated the bear from the deer. I mean, it was too late, but just to get him out of the neighborhood.
Wow.
Right.
Because he was just still munching on it.
Yeah.
Oh, snacking it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carol Baskins killed her husband, whacked him, fed him to the tigers. They snacking. Yeah. Did you see that movie? The Carol Baskins and the Tiger King.
Crazy bitch.
She's still out there. I know you're out there, lady, saving tigers. Is it tigers? Yeah. That was a perfect documentary for like right when COVID hit.
Yeah.
What did you do? Like, were you working from home and?
Yeah. So we got, really banned from travel, right? My company just kind of just locked down everybody from travel because of it. So we just worked out of the house. I barely left the house in a year other than to go take photos.
Wasn't that nice or no?
Well,
everyone's dying on the outside, but we're like at home, just like,
yeah,
sweet.
I put on some of that COVID weight. I had to go on a keto diet and get that weight off me. But my wife had the same scenario. So we both worked for the first time in our 32 years of marriage, worked out of the house together, which is weird, right? Because like I'm in one bedroom and she's the other, and we both worked out of the house for the last year, which was strange.
I do that here now with my wife, and it's cool because she doesn't like have to leave and deal with all the stress of traffic and other workers. She just has to deal with me,
which is worse, maybe.
Sometimes, yeah, probably in her case, she's like, I think I'm gonna go drive an Uber.
Right. So now I'm back to traveling, and I've been traveling for 4 weeks straight. So it's been kind of nice.
Okay.
Honestly, I was in Vegas all last week, and
Vegas, baby.
Vegas.
What'd you do there? Conference?
At a conference.
Yeah. What do you do in a conference?
It was crazy. Vegas is back. I mean, the casinos were packed. The freaking strip was nuts. You see all that craziness that always goes on in Vegas, like 2 dudes in a one of those electric scooters that you see at Walmart. There's 2 dudes in one. Not supposed to be 2, but there were 2. This one dude had a doobie about that long and about that big around, and they had like a boom box in that little basket up front, just jamming. And they were just weaving all over the strip, kind of almost running over people, and they were just.
There's no police.
Just blitzed. No.
So. And things are getting trippy. We're doing very well, and I think. Thanks in part to some of your fantastic photography.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to keep doing that because that's like when you hit, we were doing photography in our backyard with like a hanging bed sheet, when we first started.
Right.
And now we're on the mountains here with Pikes Peak in the background with the National Geographic photographer, Mike Tice, doing it. And you're just like the local dude here that can do it. So it just works out perfectly. It
just works out.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's fun.
It is fun.
It is.
We do our little shots afterwards, take some tequila shots.
Yeah, it takes. That's kind of like our protocol, man. That's what we got to do, right?
Yeah. Successful shoot requires a celebratory shot. And, that one with Malice, didn't go as well as it could have, because they get tired.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's so, like, hard about modeling, but I guess you're flexing and it's cold and you can't eat.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel bad really for Patrick, Yeah. I mean, what month was that? Like February or March? That dude was cold. I felt so bad for him.
Yeah. He got what he wanted. That's what he wanted. He asked for this shit. Some of these people want it,
And he's coming back, isn't he?
Yeah. He's coming back next year, same time. We're going to put him through the ringer again. I don't know. I don't know if he's coming back. We haven't scheduled anything. It's a constant rotation. We're going to be doing Brandon Marino in Vegas. He has his own photographer, but we're going to fly in, and I don't know. He's a champion of the world in a band flyweight. So 125, 125-pound UFC champion of the world, and that's exciting.
That is.
So we'll all be in Vegas, No masks. No, it's all Wild
No,
Wild West.
It was the Wild Wild West. I mean, it was nuts. I mean, the crowds are huge.
Did you gamble or
No.
see a show?
Nothing, so it's just like 14-hour days, at the end of the day, you're around crowds and you kind of like don't want to be around people anymore. You're just like done, right? So I just like go back to my hotel room, little room service, couple cocktails, and then you'd be done. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Vegas is back. It was crazy.
Did you play golf?
No.
Do you?
There's I wouldn't say playing golf. I like show up.
Yeah.
I drive the cart and drink some beers.
Yeah, we should play.
I'm
Of course, it's pretty sweet.
I'm
right
good
here.
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can bring your camera.
Yeah.
You can get some shots while we take shots and take shots. Because I want to, I mean, as SHEATH grows, there's a vanity level. I don't know what it is. We got the RPG podcast, right? And
Yeah.
Robert Patton Global. And that's me. And so, and like my team suggests myself becoming more of a influencer type person, and like Gary Vee or
Totally agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I got to get more footage and shots and do me doing cool shit like jumping out of an airplane or something wild that I normally wouldn't do. I don't know. It's all about clickbait.
Right.
Got to get those clicks.
What about a dude jumping out of an airplane in his underwear in some sheath?
That would be awesome.
That'd be cool. Or playing golf over here in his underwear.
Just in underwear. Yeah, we could totally get some shots like that. Like just when you get to hole 4 when there's like nobody there.
Yeah.
Except that one guy. There's one guy I was driving around. The guards, they like make sure you're not breaking
really?
the rules and stuff. But I'm sure
He can be paid.
he'd be fine. Hey, yeah. Real quick. That, and I want more ideas,
Yeah.
like, because I was talking to that other photographer and like, it's like, present me with concepts that are dope. And he actually showed me some of, he's like the Banksy of photography or something. I can't think of his name right now, but he had this lady, she's walking down like in the sand dunes and there's a helicopter like right there. I thought that was pretty cool. Her hair is all flying around and I'm like, let's do that.
What if we, one just popped into my head, speaking of sand dunes, what if we went down to the sand dunes in southern Colorado?
Ooh, yeah, I haven't done anything like that.
A dude in his underwear walking across the top of the dune.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm totally down for that.
Okay. See,
that's a great idea.
that is a great idea.
I'm trying to do, this is like going to happen before I die, is I'm going to get a camel. I think there might be a place where you can like rent a camel and get him on the dunes down there.
Wow.
Across the sand dunes.
I'm trying to think of something that would be like
Just like at sunset or sunrise,
contrasty though, like so not like a camel, but like what's not from the desert that you could ride? Because a horse you can ride in the desert, an elephant you can ride in the desert, kangaroo maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Rhino.
But I got the shot in my head, black and white, super good light. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
And what would and just the guy in sheath or just the camel by itself?
I was just like gonna have a guy have it by the reins. Just walk up the sand dune.
With
Just
the shadow.
Yeah, just right up the sand dune.
I can see it.
Right across the peak.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
Do you paint?
Funny you say that. No.
But you're like painting a picture with cameras.
It really. I mean,
yeah.
So my grandma, Arlene King, God rest her soul, was like a real deal artist, like a painter. And if I have any artistic eye, that's where I get it, is from her. I think that's where, and my kids are pretty artistic too. And I remember going to her house when we were kids, during the summer, we'd go there for a week. And she had this studio in her house. And I just very, very vividly remember her sitting there painting on a canvas. And we have some of her work. It's so cool. She was amazing.
I love that shit.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I got like any kind of artistic eye I got from her. It's really cool.
So you were already in your 40s, 50s before you started photography?
Yeah, I was in my 40s, late 40s before I really figured it out, before I'm like, holy crap, I can take photos.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, but someone might say
that kind of sucks.
it's too late.
No,
I'm
it's
too
not.
old, and like why even bother?
No, not at
Yeah.
all. I don't feel that way at all. I mean, I wish I would have learned it earlier, right? I wish I
Right.
would have discovered this talent earlier, because when my kids were little, right?
Yeah.
I could have took a lot of photos of them, but it's not too late.
No, I know, but like another success principle or story is of Colonel Sanders in Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, he retired from his at like 65,
Yeah,
and then he started that company.
yeah,
But he was using his retirement checks, but to like fund it.
yeah,
But just the point is, it's never too late, and
Why-
you can create an empire.
yeah, exactly. Some people would say that, being in your 50s is too late to go 160 mile an hour in a Tesla too. I'm not afraid.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I would do that.
exactly.
I will.
And there's so much more life to live. We don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
I feel like I'm 43. I'm middle-aged. Maybe there's life extension. Maybe I'll live to 120. Maybe I'm still a baby. I'm not sure yet.
Never know with technology, right?
Yeah.
I mean, advancements in medicine, and yeah, you never know.
Bionics.
Right.
You know, like the Bionic Man. What the fuck? Like they say that TV becomes reality sometimes. I'm still waiting for my battery pack. I just need a little battery pack to replace my heart. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
What? I just figured it out.
There's
for you
another
people.
20 years.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking 2,000, maybe like 10,000 years, I'd be like, okay, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
I've done everything. Now take me, Lord. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Speaking of that car, so I have a neighbor across the street, and he's 80s, and he's retired, obviously, but he's a car guy. He worked for a Mercedes dealership in Denver, and they retired, moved down here, and he saw my car, and he's like, "Yo," he goes, "I have never like sat in a Tesla." I'm like, "Well, hop in, let's go for a ride."
Hell yeah.
So I take him on a pretty, I'll just say, spirited ride. And then we get north of town, and he was just giggling and cussing and laughing, and
Hell yeah.
he was like a little kid. It literally brought the little kid out in him.
They're so fun.
So then I pull over and I said, "Your turn to drive back." And he goes, "Really?"
Oh.
And he's tall, and it was hard for him to even like get in and out of the car, right? And he's like, "All right." So just north of town here, he drives back, and I'm like, "Okay, whenever you're ready, just pin it." And he did, and he just started laughing and giggling and cussing, and he was like, "Oh my God," all the way back. He just kept saying, "Oh my God, oh my God." And so it was really cool just to kind of see the little kid in him come out again, so it's never too late.
When we went to the Tesla dealership, which is why we bought it to begin with, because they brought a Tesla dealership here into Colorado Springs, and
Yeah.
I was like, let's go for a test drive. And I took my wife, and the guy, the salesman or whatever, was like, punch it. He's like, definitely punch it. And we had the X, and the X is pretty, at least for the test drive, is like one of the faster ones. And she loved it, and she was like super into it also. So I was like, we'll get two of these. I'll take two. Thank you. They're fun.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess, it's like driving the fastest sports car you can find, like a Porsche or whatever, but you can get it at a pretty reasonable price. Do you have the autopilot, whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the full autopilot.
Because I want to know what it's like to not have that.
I
heard it's pretty similar.
It's kind of weird. We had kind of indifferent experience. We got up, went over the Hoosier Pass on the way to Breckenridge, going up that way, up Highway 9. And I was curious as to how it was going to, interact with the switchbacks. I can tell you, it didn't go well. It just like we set the autopilot and it maintained the speed limit, but it didn't know what to do with the switchbacks.
Yeah.
It started to turn late. Next thing you know, we're heading towards the guardrail, and my son kind of overtook the wheel. And so
it's still,
don't use the autopilot on switchbacks is the message.
I could see that.
Other than that, it's awesome.
It is awesome. It is awesome.
I mean, I got stuck in Denver traffic, like rush hour traffic, and I'm just like, I'll just set the autopilot and it would just work like a charm.
Yep.
It's perfect.
It's so much nicer, so less stressful.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
let me just check my phone.
Right? Real quick, I'll just reply to this text.
Yeah, and you know, after like how long you think it is, like you can have your hand off the wheel, like 20 seconds or something.
Yeah. Then you gotta, just
Give it a
touch
little
the
jiggle.
Yeah. But full self-driving is here, I think. I mean, it's a $10,000 option, I think.
Okay, so I have that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, but I don't know I want to see what yours is like then, because I heard it's pretty much the same thing. Like our full self-driving is autopilot or whatever, because you go like this, you go down twice,
Down
right?
twice, it sets autopilot.
And then it'll stay in the lanes. You can switch lanes maybe.
Yeah, I think if you use the turn signal, it'll switch lanes.
Well, what the fuck did I buy then?
I don't know. Full self-driving is, like, I was just on my phone and it says upgrades. So I'm like, is this like a software upgrade or what is this? I tap on upgrades and it says full self-driving $10,000.
Okay, I bought the $10,000 option, but all I can do is the shit you can do. And somebody was telling me that, and I'm like, no way. Why did I fucking buy full self-driving? Like, I'm trying to think of something it can do that yours can't do. And I don't think it's not like it pulls me into my garage.
Right.
I mean, I can do summons. Can you do summons?
I get
Well,
the
what
summons.
the fuck? I paid the $10,000 and I don't know what for,
Yeah.
honestly, yet. Because when I found out you can do everything I can do for not paying the $10,000.
I mean, I'm kind of new to the platform, so I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know what the full self-driving capabilities are, honestly.
I'm going to say don't buy the full self-driving next time then to anyone out there until we figure this out, because
I joined this Tesla forum, on
Stacy's on there too, probably.
Yeah, and they say it's kind of a waste, but
No, that's now I think I'm confirming that, because I can't do anything. You're saying like can you parallel park?
yeah,
I don't know if we can. We haven't tried that.
I haven't
But
tried it either. I'm scared, but
Yeah,
and I haven't tried the summons thing.
the summons we've done, but still, I'm like, what? I guess the idea is that when it's fully ready,
Yeah,
we have it.
yeah,
But what does that mean? And when's that going to happen?
right.
Because I live on a dirt road, and I don't think it's going to work on that.
Yeah, I think it relies on lines in the road. I don't know.
I don't know.
You need to check
I
that.
guess we put in for the cause, I guess.
You need to check into that.
Yeah, I want a refund, Elon.
Yeah, good luck.
And Doge coins. Doge. Are you holding? Are you hodling?
No, I have not.
No.
No.
You're risk averse.
Yeah, right.
I've.
So my son's a day trader.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, you met him.
Yeah.
So he's a day trader, and he's all about the Bitcoin, but he's kind of like set that aside, and he's focused on, traditional stocks, AMC. I'm into some AMC stock, pretty good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're part of the.
It's doing pretty well.
That's fun. That's good. I like the AMC. The people like revolting together or joining forces to take on these hedge funds.
Yeah.
Who shorted that stock? I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
Some people were like,
It's all about kicking them in the balls, right?
a little bit. They were taking advantage long enough, and I'm sure they made billions.
Yeah.
And for them to, lose a little bit, and
So
the people get some.
Yeah, so these hedge funds hate my son. These are, they all, they despise people like my son, right?
What is he called? Do you have like a name for him?
I don't.
It's
Pain
not,
in the ass.
Yeah, it's not nice. Whatever it is, it's like
Yeah.
something like just like
It definitely has a negative connotation.
Yeah,
to it.
a negative connotation. I'm not sure what it is, but that's irrelevant, I guess. We're coming up on an hour.
Yeah.
And I, just want to see if there's anything else you want to say.
No, if I can give a plug to my website, that'd be cool. MikeTice.smugmug.com.
Very good stuff on there, honestly.
Yeah. You were on it.
Yeah.
You perused it. But yeah, it's fun, man. I have a lot of fun. And I love shooting your models and getting out in this environment. It's great. I love it. We need to do more of it, and I need to come up with some more creative ideas for you.
If you had anything to say to aspiring photographers, what would you say?
Yeah, first thing that pops in my head is YouTube is your friend.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's where I learned it, honestly. I mean, that's where I learned composition and how to make a scene interesting. So study.
Yeah.
Take classes, go on YouTube. You don't need an expensive camera to take nice photos. That said, I'm now shooting $5,000 camera, so I'm a little bit hypocrite there, but study YouTube, man. That's where I learned. I just kept watching video after video after video, get to know your camera, the menu, look up your camera model on YouTube, and just, figure it out, learn it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. It'd be, I guess, like that just mean like you have to be obsessed. And like for me, when I tried to learn the camera, I was like, it's like gibberish. So it wasn't for me. But if it's for you, you'll be like into it like you are.
Yeah, and then it'll become muscle memory. When you're out in the field shooting, it's just muscle memory. Scroll wheels and menu and good. Just going through things. As I'm looking through the viewfinder at one of your models, right? I'm constantly adjusting things. F-stops and ISO and shutter speed and all that kind of stuff. I'm constantly adjusting that just by looking through the viewfinder and scrolling. And pretty soon it becomes muscle memory and just become used to it.
Yeah, I feel like my brothers.
Yeah.
Got that going. So when they published you, were you in like a magazine or did they put you on the website or both?
So it's it's really weird about NatGeo is you can't at the time it was on their website, right? It was just that's where your publication resided, and you never know. I mean, they published 10 photos a day, right? So in a week, that's a lot of photos. Just and then throughout the year, that's a lot of photos. So you never really know. So they have the Travelers magazine, and they got the regular Nat Geo magazine that we're all the yellow magazine as I call it. So, I bought for months. I bought both of those magazines just in looking for my photo, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really know where it ever got published at because I was just not able to find them. And it's not like you can pick up the phone and call Nat Geo's editor and say, "Yo, where's my photo at?"
Right.
I tried.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
It's just it being recognized. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was so cool.
And your fulfillment is met. You're like, there's no higher ambition for you right now other than just getting...
I mean, I don't have any like higher ambitions. I mean, that's the Super Bowl ring, honestly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind shooting like some big sport venues, NFL games, MLB games. Maybe some of that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, we sponsor the Switchbacks. I don't know if you saw that. We have that big...
Yeah, your logo's out on the outfield or on the wall or something, right?
Yeah, so that would be cool to
get
some cool shots.
Maybe you can hook a brother up there.
With
yeah.
Tickets or with shot?
No,
to do a photo shoot.
To do a photo shoot there.
Oh, for sure.
That'd be cool.
Oopsie, I'll tell my people.
Yeah.
Because and I'll hype you up with your experience and whatnot. You're not just
an average
photographer.
Average photographer.
Yeah, we'll have to send.
I'd love to.
Mike Tice.
Smugmug.com.
Yeah, I'll have to send them that, and that probably will seal the deal. Okay, well, as we wrap up, this is an ode to Michael Malice. What was your favorite part of this interview?
It was just interesting to get to know you and see how you view the world is interesting, and it's just fascinating to talk to people like this. It's just like real discussions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
good. Well, hopefully we'll have to do it again sometime.
I love it,
and we'll definitely be shooting some more pictures soon.
Absolutely.
So thanks for coming on.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, everyone. Before I go, let me give a plug to Ohana Kava Bar. Will you hand me that bag behind you?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
OhanaKavaBar.com is my boy's kava shop online. He started it as a bar in here in Colorado Springs. It's blowing up. Everyone loves it. I love it. He took it online so that people not in Colorado Springs could access it, and it's the best quality stuff. It's fun. It's like calm and relaxing, ceremonial. Do it with your friends. Have you tried it?
No.
Kava?
No.
Yeah, it's like a ceremonial beverage they do in the South Pacific. It's like...
I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, I'll give you a sample. I got some instant kava, and it's good for it's a good substitute for alcohol if you're getting wasted all the time and you want to just not do that. But it's kind of like you'll get a little bit of something. It's a good substitute. And, promo code SHEATH10 saves 10% at ohanakavabar.com. I like the tincture. It's easier, just little drops. And they call it a herbal Xanax. We're gonna wrap it up here in a second, but the way Matt describes it, which I really like, he says it's like the best mixture of weed, coffee, and beer because it gives you energy like coffee. It makes you socially, like it's a social lubricant like alcohol, and like it chills you out like weed or whatever.
I need to OD on that shit
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I definitely need
if
some.
you give it a shot,
Yeah.
sir. And that's ohanakavabar.com. ohanakavabar.com. Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, right on. Thank you, man.
Okay. All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Peace. We'll see you next time.